Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to show you a team you can use for this faction assault in the Warrens. From the shop, if you grab tier 1, you'll get yourself a Potion of Enchantment. Really handy. All your troops start enchanted at the start of each and every battle for the entirety of this event, but do bear in mind that if your horde level is 100 or above in the Underworld, in this faction you will have a Potion of Enchantment stored, so no need to actually buy one. Tier 4, a pretty decent weapon. Garland Staff. Deals magic-based scatter damage to all enemies, grants 1 to 2 status effects to all allies, which is really cool. That could be barrier or reflect, something like that. And it's really good as well because the upgrades are really nice. It has tangling. That's going to entangle the first troop when you cast this. It has enchanting, which means it's going to become enchanted. As soon as you cast it, it'll be ready to go again in no time at all. And it also has primal, which I think is destroy 3 green gems. So it gives itself a bit more mana as well as it does that. So a really cool weapon, totally worth picking up, like a lot. Anyway, on the first level, just show the team I used to do this on the level 500 using the Delve team. I used Bunnycorn, Lupina Healer, Bunnycorn, Luna. Bunnycorn creates 7 yellow gems and charms a random enemy. As the enemies get a lot harder on those higher levels, the charm really works against them and does a serious amount of damage to their own troops. Probably more in some cases than what you're going to be doing a lot of the time, which is really cool. And it also has a 20% chance to dodge skull damage. Lupina will be used quite a lot. It gives magic +1 life to all allies and gives them a random status effect as well. Also has a 20% chance to dodge skull damage. We have a second Bunnycorn there because of the effect of that charm, really handy, and the fact that those yellow gems charge up our Lupina Healer and our Luna. Luna chips in with some damage to all enemies and either inflicts 1 to 2 status effects on all enemies or gives 1 to 2 status effects to our allies. So sometimes those status effects on the enemies, if you're lucky, could be Death Mark or something like that, and that could work. So really useful. And she also explodes a random gem when matching yellow gems, which we'll be doing a lot because we collect yellow for these two. That's how I done it. I had my horde level, I think, on level 180. Can't remember if it was tricky or not. I don't think it was too bad. It doesn't stick in the memory as something being horrendous. But yeah, that's a team I used, and it was okay. So now on to the team I'm going to use for this faction assault itself. Shield of Urskaya, Rowan, Starflower, and Sylvana Mora. These bottom two are kind of interchangeable in a way. The main team is all about the shield and Rowan. If you prefer a faster start, you can pop in a Leprechaun. That is going to be good because that starts empowered. You can just cast Leprechaun straight away, exploding green, giving a lot of mana for the team from the absolute get-go. Sylvana Mora is good though, if you don't mind being patient at the beginning of the game, because on a 4-match you're going to entangle the first enemy. This is really useful if you're a newer player to the game. You're just going to keep your top troop safe from damage from skulls. And it also explodes a column and does damage to all enemies, which softens them up for maybe Rowan to finish off. My horde level is on about 180 on this, so it is quite high. So if you're like thinking, how the heck is she doing this much damage? It's because my horde level is high. The higher you get your horde level in the Underworld, the more damage your troops are going to do because their magic is going to increase as well as their other stats. Rowan is going to be our main damage dealer, dealing scatter damage boosted by her armor. So to increase her armor, we use the Shield of Urskaya. This gives an ally magic-based armor boosted by all enemy attack. That is the real key to this. Basically, as these levels get harder, the boost that Rowan gets when you cast this onto her gets more and more and more. It's a small amount in the beginning, but on the really high levels, the boost is absolutely massive and it's basically an absolute game changer. This really is the best way to go about this. Very reliable indeed. And we can hopefully get some boosts from Starflower. That 50% chance to fairy fly a random enemy at the start of my turn is going to increase the power of Rowan no end. If you don't have any of those troops, if you don't have Rowan, for example, there are definitely other ways to go about it. You can do a really straightforward team with something like a Secret Darkwood. All you got to do is have 3 of her. She deals damage to an enemy, then creates purple gems boosted by elf allies. You can have 2 of her, maybe with King Avalon, maybe. I think he's viable for this. And then make sure you've got an elf weapon, or the class is an elf class. And then just loop them to death with Secret Darkwood. Just make sure you're in a full elf team. Similarly with Todd Greenwood. You could go that route as well. Very similar kind of thing. chuck some Tods in there, make sure you're in a War Gear class, and then just again loop them to death by just constantly just creating those green gems, casting Todd over and over. Tedious, but it will get you through it. But I'm going to roll with this team for this one. The banner for this is going to be the Hive banner, +2 brown, +1 green, -1 red. Right, let's dive in. We're in Geomancer class for this. Always handy to have the damage reduction from skulls, a 50% start. Serendipity is really good. Anti-magic sphere, superb. Tactician, pretty useful. Rock solid, gain a barrier when matching brown gems. Tree of knowledge, gain enchant when matching green, which we do all the time. Fortitude, yeah, really good. Let's rock and roll. Like I say, this will be quicker if you use a leprechaun team at the beginning. But for now, we'll just collect our mana normally. We're ready to go anyway. The Potion of Enchantment is so effective, it is rather superb and well worth those 30 gems at the start of the game. So just work your way around. As soon as you get to this point here, you can do the mythic room, or if you prefer, you can go around picking off these other rooms to increase the room treasure multiplier. Giant spiders. Don't like spiders much. Spiders are scary. Especially those big, bulbous, see-through ones that are orange and hairy. Urgh. No thanks. My earliest memories as a kid have been absolutely petrified by a spider. Completely random conversation this now, but this is a straightforward video. How old was I? Maybe 6 or 7? And my bed was sort of right up against the wall, sort of hard up against the wall kind of thing. And I woke up kind of, must have been early-ish morning, because there was a little bit of light coming through. I could just about see stuff. And I turned over sort of towards the wall, and my face was literally like 2 inches from the wall. And I was just looking at the most hideous spider I think you've ever seen. It was enormous. It had, like I just described, one of those big sort of orange, bulbous, almost translucent bodies with these big hairy legs and stuff. And it was like, yeah, I jumped so high I nearly hit the ceiling, I think. Probably why I don't like spiders, because that was my earliest memory. Yes, we don't have to boost Rowan at the moment, but I'll just show it here just for the effect. Like right now the boost is plus 400 because I have got a high horde level on this. But if we cast our shield onto Rowan, our armor's gone up to 312 and the boost is now plus 624. So it does make an absolute massive difference. And it will get higher and higher the more levels you go as well. Like as you go further and further into this faction assault, then that boost will get more and more. Just make sure when you cast your Shield of Eskar, you park it on Rowan. Right, I'll just do one more set of levels in. Pretty straightforward for the most of the time. And this is why I like this team as well. These tricksters are actually quite annoying. Look, I think Hiking Irongut is viable for this faction assault. But these, they get charged up really quickly because they start with 75% mana. Then they switch the first and last enemies. If you're using Hiking Irongut, that is a real pain because he gets bunged to the back. That high attack you could get if you got Devour doesn't work anymore, and he's going to be a lot harder to charge up. So really annoying. Oh, another good thing about the Shield of Eskar, oh, I can't actually show it now. It basically gives 1 mana to all allies when you cast it as well, which is really cool. So you can only be 1 mana away from being charged, even when not enchanted. Cast Shield of Eskar and you will get that mana to all allies, which gives you the extra bit you needed to be able to cast. Really, really useful weapon. And as the enemies get harder, it works against them because it just gets more and more powerful, which boosts up Rowan's damage more and more. I mean, as you can see, there's no real need for a Leprechaun in this team. I did mention it at the beginning, but you get charged up so fast. No real need. Much rather have a Sylvana Mora in the team, entangling that top troop on a 4-match, delivering damage to all. Starflower delivers damage to all as well and has Fairy Fire, so you can increase the damage of Rowan by another 50%. I mean, what's that, 1 round more or something? This is what I mean now about the what I was saying a second ago about how this gives 1 mana. Like if I cast this on Rowan, you see she's not enchanted. It's not a lot of use right now because she's on naught, but when we cast this, she'll be on 1 mana. It's actually really handy when her colour's not there, but she's on, say, 11 out of 12. You can just get the other troops that little bit of mana they needed to be ready to cast. Last couple of battles. Yeah, play this sensibly. Make sure you keep your Rowan protected. Keep casting the Shield of the Sky if you need to, and you will actually fly through this delve. There's the big boost. Huge amount of damage. Starflower can chip in as well. That Fairy Fire really making a difference. Last one, and the video is done. Well, that was easy enough to get Rowan going straight away. Let's get the shield up. I wouldn't sit there doing complicated maths either, like I'm trying to work out if this is enough. The boost is 400, with the scatter damage of being 80 initially, 480, then looking at these, adding it all up. Just cast a shield onto that. That's going to be a hell of a boost. Then you can cast this. Massive damage. Hasta la vista, you lot. Well, there's a video. Nice team to use there for that. Very effective indeed. If you enjoyed it, found it useful, helpful, any of that kind of stuff, be really cool if you bash that like and subscribe button. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.